Good evening. I'm Martin Barbie, Scout Executive of the Westmoreland Fayette Council. I'd like to welcome you as we kick off the 2000 camping season at the Eberly Scout Reservation. You know, you think about it, as cold as it is out there tonight, 5 months from now, we'll be in camp where it'll be nice and warm and sunny, and the kids will be having the highlight of their camping season this coming summer. You know, we're going to go through a lot of information tonight, and we may not answer all your questions, but if you have a question that you don't hear an answer to, I invite you to text 724-988-6577 to text your questions in, and we'll get an answer for you. All the forms that we'll be referring to tonight are on the council website, wfbsa.org, so please go there to find any information you need. And lastly, just thanks for joining us as we kick off the camping season, and we'll hope to see you at camp this summer.
Good evening. We'd like to welcome you to our Camp Kick-Off session. First of all, sitting here with us is, to my right is Alex Miller, Camp Buck Run Program Director, Ken Contract, Camp Conestoga Camp Director, Jack Waite, Assistant Scout Executive, my name Mike Blasco, Council Camping Chairman, and Kenneth Bartlett, Camp Buck Run Director. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to cover things from specifics from Camp Conestoga, Camp Buck Run. We're going to have time for question and answers, and we're going to have some closing thoughts from Jack Wade, our executive. A little overview of what the camping committee does. Like I said before, my name is Mike Blasco. I'm the camping chairman, but without the committee, with our good committee, we do a lot of things. Our committee is a volunteer from each district, plus other people. We promote the camping program in the council to our scouting units. We developed the budget to operate our council's 3 camps. We designed the program to be delivered at our council's camp. We work with other council committees in the Order of the Arrow to implement the total scouting program in the council. Also, a couple programs we have available for you is the camperships. The Charles A. ERS Campership Funds. It's to provide financial assistance to help youth members attend camp. We want to see every member possible to attend camp in our council and out of council. It's designed to aid scouts who are active in their unit and participate in fundraising activities to help them earn their way to camp, but cannot earn the entire camp fee. In other words, we're there to help you. Applications are accepted for youth attending any council camp, be it Buck Run, Conestoga. Deadline for applications is April 11th, 2016. That's April 11th, 2016. Applications are reviewed by the council campership committee. One note on that is a scout is supposed to help himself, so we look for that when we review those camperships. We want to see that scout actually goes out and tries himself also. We also have a camp service project program. Packs and troops can earn a $10 discount for each participant in a one-day service project at Eberly Scout Reservation. Complete the service project, approved project, 8 hours of service in 1 weekend. So if you have an idea what you want to do for a service project, or, we have some, let us know, and we'll we'll let you do that. You get $10 off per boy of the people that attend the service project. So if you have 10 boys attend the service project, you'll get $10 off per boy up at camp.
You also get $10 off for each adult that comes with, too.
Adult too also. Thank you, Jack. So for each member that participates in that service project, you get $10 off the camp fee. Now, I'd like to turn it over to Camp Buck Run with Kenny Bartlett, Camp Director. And Kenny has been up there for a long time and a valuable asset to the council, and first-year Camp Director, and he's got a lot of good ideas, and he's looking forward to this job with.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, my name is Bartlett. I'm the 2016 Camp Director for Camp Buck Run. We're going to talk about a couple of things with the Buck Run program, a couple of new things, and just some couple of things to remind you of for this season. The first thing is the Camp Smoke Signals, the Special Camping Edition, which all of the packs, each pack should have received, each boy should have received in the mail. There's a lot of valuable information, including a lot of the information I'm going to talk to you about tonight, fees, and the other different programs. I'd also like to make a mention that we are going to be sending monthly updates through the smoke signals on the website. So there will be a special section that just has different updates about camp to keep all the parents and all the boys and leaders informed. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is the Leader's Guide. Again, it's also a valuable resource. It is available on the council website. All of the registration forms you need are in that guide, and many of them are fillable online, so you won't have to worry, as much about handwriting. So that'll be very helpful for you. A little bit more about the program at Buck Run this year. As everyone probably knows, we do a theme, and our camp theme this year is dinosaurs. Pretty exciting theme for boys. I think about it, what 10-year-old. What boy under 10 does not like dinosaurs? So it's a really exciting theme for us. I know my staff and I are very much looking forward to utilizing it, and we think we're going to have a lot of fun with this really exciting theme. Just a couple of one thing I want to mention is, as you know, many of you know, last year the Boy Scouts of America made a rather large change to the Cub Scout program. And that does affect resident camp, just something so everyone's aware. All activities are going to be completed by rank as they were last year. This is due to the age-appropriate activities change to the Cub Scout program. It's our goal at Buck Run to have a fun and productive experience because we want you to have fun with a purpose. Another more towards the assets of camp. We are continuing development of our different camp programs areas. For those of you who were there last year, the fitness area and the Scoutcraft area are going to be moving around. They're going to be switching places. There's going to be continued refinement on the new archery area, making it more integrated. So that's another thing that we are looking forward to at Camp Buck Run. As always, we like to promote communication. If you have any questions, you can contact the council office at 724-837-1630, or you can contact me personally at the listed email, which is campbuckrun@gmail.com. Next thing I want to talk about is the registration process, which includes the fees and how you go about registering for camp this summer. We do recommend that you appoint a pack Cub camping coordinator that completes the site reservation form for the session you'd like to use. If that's not already been done, you can pick up that form at the office, or it is in the Camp Leader's Guide. The pack camping committee coordinator should collect all deposits and needs to complete the paperwork, which is due by March 4th of 2016. Again, that's March 4th. 2016 deposits and paperwork are due. Again, as Mike mentioned earlier, the campership applications are due by April 11th, 2016 at the Council Service Center. And then the final date to be aware of is the balance for those camp fees are due by May 6th, 2016. Again, that's May 6th. The fees for this year, just to give everyone a preview, for our weekend camp, which runs from Friday to Sunday, It is $100 for each Cub Scout and $50 for each parent. For the 4-day camp, which runs from Friday until Tuesday, is $170 for Cub Scouts and $150 for the leaders over the free amount, which that ratio is listed in the smoke signals and in the leader's guide. Finally, our 5-day camp, which is our Weeblos Camp and Arrow of Light Camp, that is $215 for Friday till Wednesday, and leaders are $150 again above the free amount. And actually, coming up right now is actually you're going to see the ratio. The ratio of adults to boys. If you have 1 to 15 boys camping, that is 2 free adult leaders. Adult leaders are those who are registered with the Boy Scouts of America. 16 to 25 is 3 free leaders, and anyone above 25 is 4 adult leaders. Extra adults, you'll pay the leader's fee. For the weekend camp, it is $50, and for the Cub Scout camp, it is $150. And the last note I just want to make on the registration form, please make sure that you are turning in all registration forms, which includes the cover page, the discount form, and all the registration rosters, which are all, again, in the leader's guide, and all the directions for those as well. Thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you at Camp Buck Run for a Jurassic experience. Thank you, and have a great night.
Now we'd like to introduce our Camp Conestoga director, Kenny Conserat.
Thank you, Mike. Before we get too far, if you're trying to text in questions and you're not getting through the way you want to, I want to correct the number that was given. The correct number is 724-322-6577. So if you're texting in questions that we're going to answer at the end of the program, you want to text them to 724-322-6577. Thank you. And I can only echo a lot of the things that my colleague Kenny Bartlett has said about Buck Run, that a lot of training has been pulled together to put together the best and put together a quality program. Because when you bring your young men and young women, when you have a crew to Conestoga, you want them to have a quality experience. And that is what we're all about at Camp Conestoga and Buck Run at the Eberly Scout Reservation. And I can only echo also what Mike and Jack have said, that we really want to put on a quality program and do the best we can to have your kids achieve their scouting goals. And to do that tonight, like Martin Barbie, our scout executive, mentioned, it may be cold outside now, but we're moving forward to the summer and we're getting prepared. And 2 of the key tools that you're going to want to have that a lot of the young men have already received is the smoke signals for summer camp, the summer camp edition. And along with the leader's guide that will be available at the end, or you'll be able to download it, you'll be able to see it. As you're getting prepared for summer camp, these are two key tools to be able to do that. That not all of the merit badges maybe will be listed on there for these young men that are going through and seeing how they want to spend a lot of their time this summer. And I do want to mention some things that may not be in there that, like we mentioned, we've done a lot of communication and training with some of the staff, and I don't want to steal too much away from Alex Miller, the program director, but some of the new programs we're bringing into camp, in touch with Clark Guy, our shooting sports director. We are going to work very hard at bringing cowboy action shooting as a possible evening program, and that's something I was authorized to leak this evening at the program. And the registration procedures as well for Conestoga that I would imagine at this point a lot of you folks have taken care of. And being prepared for Conestoga also means that as you have your adult leadership lined up, you have your youth leadership lined up for that particular week, and also any health concerns that the boys may have, so that when we're delivering the program for your young people, that we have all the information we need to be able to do that. And I think we have the slide for registration procedures. And this is a wonderful program that I'm glad Matt Dowling, who's behind the scenes there, has put this together, that we can be live and start to reach out to the troops to make these things happen so that you folks can prepare. Obviously, the troop leader completes a site reservation form that I would imagine a lot of you folks have already done for the week that the troop would like to attend. Troop leader collects the deposits and completes the troop rosters. This will be due by March 4th of 2016. And as you move forward and you have courts of honor and you have other programs where parents are involved, definitely be promoting camp, having the older scouts share with the younger scouts what experiences they can expect, and bring those young people to us at summer camp. Moving along, you also heard this with the Cub program. Campership applications are due by April 11th, 2016 here at the Council Service Center. And the balances of camp fees and troops' final fee in the rosters are due by May 6th of 2016. The rosters especially, we want to make sure that we have an accountability of the scouts when they come into camp so that we know who we have and we'll be able to take care of them when they're there. And another slide, I think. Also with the camp fees, that $325 per scout if it's paid in full by May 6th of 2016 for Westmoreland Fayette Council Scouts. And again, that's where prior planning comes in, that we want to make sure we know who's coming to camp. They can start to fundraise and start to prepare so that maybe they'll be able to take care of that. $345 per scout if it's paid in full by May 6th, 2016 for out-of-council scouts. Leader fees, obviously, we always want at least two deep leadership to provide for all our scouting units. And for the first 16 scouts, there are 2 free adult leaders. From 17 to 24 scouts in the campsite, there are 3 free adult leaders. And from 25 to 32 scouts, we have 4 free adult leaders. And beyond 33 scouts in the camp, the ratio will stay the same. And additional leaders are $220 for the week. And I can only, again, reiterate the excitement that we have. We had a camp staff Christmas party last month. It was well attended. One of the best attended events we've had. We will be at the OA banquet, which is February 27th. February 27th. And we'll be doing some additional staff training there as well. And I would also reach out to unit leaders, that if you have young men, young women, and crews that are interested in working at Camp Conestoga, a lot of our positions honestly are filled at this time, but we're still looking for qualified people. All the time we are looking for the best people that we can hire to deliver this program. So don't be afraid to push those young people ahead and say, think about applying to be maybe a CIT or even for a hired position. It's a fantastic experience that really can't be equaled anywhere else. So I will look forward to seeing you in June and July and August of this summer, and I'll hand things back over to Mike Blasco, our camping chair.
Now I want to introduce Alex Miller, our Camp Conestoga Program Director.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name's Alex Miller. I'll be the program director at Camp Conestoga this year. And first, we're going to start off talking about that great program that Ken talked about. We've made a few changes this year to the merit badges. And if you attended camp last year, you're going to look at a lot of these merit badges and say, I recognize these. And that's because a lot of these were ones that weren't officially on the schedule. We had some very ambitious staff members that decided that they wanted to try out some merit badges, and we liked them. The scouts attending camp seemed to like them, and so we decided we were going to keep them around. But the first thing I want to talk about is drafting merit badge. This is our new merit badge that scouts will be able to take, especially if you have any scouts that have taken woodworking or welding in the past. This might be something that they're interested in. Now, something to keep in mind, though, is for each week, we are only going to be able to hold 6 students per drafting summit. And those students will be chosen by age and then rank. So if you have a scout that's maybe 12, 13, and they want to take drafting, by all means, they can attempt to get into the class, but there's no guarantee that they will. So I would make sure that any younger scouts you have, that they have some backups in mind just in case they're not able to get in. A lot of those programs, we're aiming at the older scouts because we want them to come in and have a fresh experience and try to do something that they've never done before. One of the badges that we're bringing back is Digital Technology Merit Badge. This badge is taught in our camp office by our office manager, and we will have 4 students, also chosen by age and then rank. This gives them the opportunity to work with different computer programs and softwares and really teach them some technology skills, just as they'd learn in school. At the lakefront, we're going to be having kayaking merit badge. This was something that was offered in conjunction with paddleboarding last year. Paddleboarding will also be back, but kayaking will be an official merit badge. And chess becomes an evening activity at Pathfinder this year. Moving on to athletics and sports, those ones certainly are not new badges. We have offered them year after year in the past, but we're going to make some changes. Last year we tried combining mammal study and nature merit badge into one summit because we just felt that it was easier to present the material in a way that the scouts would really get something out of it. And we feel that it's going to be the same with sports and athletics. So if your boys are planning on taking athletics or sports, that is the same summit, and they will earn both badges if they attend all 5 summits all week. There will be a shift about halfway through where athletics will be the beginning of the week, sports will be the end. But like I said, if they attend the full week, they will get both badges. Finally, I want to talk a little bit about woodworking and welding. This one, much like drafting, is going to be 6 students per offering of the class, and it'll be chosen by age and rank. However, due to safety factors for welding, they have to be 14 or older. We've had in the past a lot of scouts say, oh, I'm out of council. I am really excited about taking the welding program. We traveled the whole way for it, and that's great. We really appreciate if you're the kind of person who travels that far for our program, but because we want to keep everybody safe and on the same page, we ask that they be 14 if they're taking welding. Moving on, I'd like to talk about some of our other program changes that we have this year. Some of our areas are getting a little bit of a shakeup, starting with our Pathfinder area. And this is definitely one, leaders, if you have any boys in Pathfinders, you're going to want to pay attention to, because we are offering not just 1, but 2 identical Pathfinder sessions this year. We sort of paid attention to Pathfinder, and we noticed that even though we were offering them a quality program, there's a large number of boys in each summit. So we're going to split it into a morning and an afternoon Pathfinder. This way the boys will have a little more one-on-one attention. It won't be quite as crowded. And therefore we will also have 2 Pathfinder swim periods. The important thing to know here, and like I said, I hope everybody's paying attention, is that each first-year scout only needs to pick one of these. No scout should be attending both morning and afternoon Pathfinder or period 3 and period 4 Pathfinder swim. They'll be getting the same experience if they go to both. We don't want that. We want them to pick one and then take merit badges in the other half of the day. Also, our handicraft area is going to have some changes this year. As a part of Art Merit Badge and perhaps an evening program, we're going to be having stained glass brought in, so that's something that the boys will get to experience. And we're also planning on tie-dyeing T-shirts and having them participate in spin art. So it'll be some new changes to handicraft, hopefully freshen things up a bit, but all the old favorites like fingerprinting Merit Badge will still be there as well. Now, a lot of your boys, even if they're older, they may have done woodworking and welding. They may have a lot of the merit badges, and so they might be looking for something else. So now I want to talk a little bit about some of the other things that your boys can do, because we really want to make sure that every scout in our council gets a camping experience. One of the options available to them is the Laurel Highlands Trail Expedition, and let me tell you, this is a fantastic opportunity for any of your boys into backpacking. So it is $175 for the Laurel Highlands Trail Expedition, and you heard that number correctly. It is $175 instead of the camp fee. So they get the whole week of camp for that price, and they'll have a 12-scout crew with 2 adult leaders hiking the entire Laurel Highlands Trail from Sunday to Friday. So what this means is that they're going to go out with our trail expedition liaison, which is basically a fancy way of saying our staff member that we send out with them for supplies, show them how to hike the trail. They'll spend a couple days out on the trail, and our staff member will join them for a refuel about halfway through their week. While they're doing this, they get to earn backpacking and hiking requirements, and possibly even the 50-miler. A lot of that depends on weather and what portions of the trail they're able to accomplish, but we're hoping they'll get through all of it, and they'll have a really great experience. So once again, that's something that if your boys, they've been to camp, they've taken all the badges, please encourage them to take the Laurel Highlands Trail Expedition. It's a great experience and certainly not something they're going to get elsewhere. Also, we have Summit Trek. So if you're really looking for high adventure, if Laurel Highlands just isn't enough for you, you can go down to the Bechtel Reserve for the summit. And this also replaces a week at camp at $475. So it's a little more expensive, but let me tell you, that is a fantastic price for a high adventure trip. They will depart for the summit Monday, return on Friday, and this crew's a little bit smaller. They have 6 youth and 2 adults. But once they're down there, they're going to be able to participate in BMX racetracks, archery, paddleboard, climbing, all the great things that the summit has to offer. So if your boys, if they've been talking about they want to go to Philmont and Seabase, but they're not sure, they want to try it out first, or maybe they just don't have the money or the time, the summit is a great way, and our summit trek is going to be a great opportunity for them to sort of get their feet wet in high adventure.
Can I jump in a minute? There was a question that came over.
It said, how will the Jamboree affect the Summit Trek in 2017? Well, actually, what you were just talking about is the Summit Trek for 2016.
Yes.
The Summit Trek in 2017, we will not offer it at the same time as the National Scout Jamboree, which is going to be the last week of July. So yeah, in 17, which is a year ahead from now, we're not going to be offering the Summit Trek during the Jamboree.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex.
Yeah, but this year's Summit Trek, perfectly accessible for your scouts. Now, if you have boys who are older and working toward Eagle, they may want to take an opportunity to earn some of those badges at our Eagle Camp. We get a lot of people asking, when are you going to offer the citizenships or personal management or family life at camp? Well, this is their opportunity to earn those badges at camp. It'll be week 2, which is June 26th through July 7th. And this is important. They do not need to register for a previous week of camp. In past years, we've said that we would like them to have a first week of camp, but we decided that we would much rather just have every boy attend camp if possible. So if it's their first week of camp, they'll pay $325 to come for the week. But we still do incentivize you to come with your troop for a first week. So if you do, your second week will be $290, a little bit of a discount. As I said, they'll be able to take the citizenship badges, communications, personal management, and family life while they're there. Or if they're particularly handy, maybe they enjoyed woodworking or welding, then they could also try out the Skilled Trades Camp. So this is something hosted by some of our local leaders. So if you are a leader that has any of these skills, please contact us and let us know. We're always looking for individuals to help us teach these badges. But this is going to be week 6 from July 24th to July 30th. Once again, you don't have to register for a previous week of camp. We're going to incentivize you to. We're going to give you a discount if you do, but it's not mandatory. You can pay the $325 for your first week or $290 for your second. And what does that get you? That gets your boys the opportunity to earn welding, woodworking, painting, electricity, automotive maintenance, plumbing, or home repairs. So they'll be offered those badges. They can choose which ones they want to work on throughout the week. And once again, a really great opportunity. We've heard amazing things from the boys who are there. They always seem to enjoy it. And so for those more hands-on scouts, that's going to be what they want to look at. I'd like to wrap this up by talking about our Order of the Arrow and our National Youth Leadership Training. So the Order of the Arrow obviously has a presence in our council, and they most certainly have a presence at summer camp. Caleb Mattis will be our summer camp chief, and he'll be sharing those duties with Michael Conroy. And the main thing that we want you to know is make sure that you have your elections before Wednesday, because on Wednesday is going to be our tap out at 7:15 p.m. So if you don't get your elections in by then, we cannot tap out your boys. So please make arrangements with Caleb or someone in the lodge to get that done. But after tap-outs, we'll also have an ice cream social on Wednesday at 9 p.m. so they can come down, have some ice cream, and enjoy some fellowship throughout the rest of their week. We had another question. Jim Jackson asked, sculpture is listed in the Leader's Guide, but not in the Merit Badge. I'm sorry, it's listed in the Merit Badge schedule chart, but not the Leader's Guide. What information is correct? Well, Jim, we're definitely offering sculpture. It will be in the periods that it's shown. That was an oversight that it wasn't in the Leader's Guide. If you'd like to know about prerequisites, I have the book in front of me, and the prerequisite will be requirement number 3. It says, find out about career opportunities in sculpture, and it asks that the boys talk about it. So any badge that has career opportunity requirements, those will be prerequisites. Please make sure your boys come to camp with them. And also on the note of prerequisites, very quickly, I didn't talk about it in my merit badge slide, but sustainability merit badge, the prerequisites are mandatory for that one. Sometimes if the boy comes without the prerequisites, we can work with that, give him a partial, and he just has to go home and do the prerequisites. But sustainability specifically says that they cannot begin the badge if they don't come with the prerequisites. Requirement 1 says before starting the badge, do this. So they have to have those if they come to camp. Otherwise, we're going to suggest that they take a different badge. All right, so last but certainly not least is our National Youth Leadership Training. This is a phenomenal opportunity for all of your up-and-coming leaders in your troop, and they can come from July 31st to August 6th up at Camp Buck Run, and they have to be 14 in first class. We would also like them to be recommended by their Scoutmaster, but they can come join us for the week, and for $175, they're going to get their food, their uniform pieces, and their supplies, and learn a little bit about how to lead small groups and how to lead patrols in their troop. So once again, a great opportunity for any up-and-coming senior patrol leaders, assistant senior patrol leaders, or any other leadership that you have in your troop. All right, I believe that's all I have.
All right, Alex, thanks a lot. We've got some questions we're going to answer for you in a minute, but I'd like you to still text your questions. Again, the number is 724-322-6577. Again, that number is 724-322-6577. I'm going to turn the questions over to Mike Blasco, who has one that he's going to take care of. Mike?
The question was texted in. Explain more about the service project. $10 discount. Is it for those attending? Yes. To go over that again, basically, if you have 8 boys attending and doing the service project, you'll get $80. If there's 2 adult leaders with the 8 boys, that's another $20. So that means you have $100 discount off your total at camp. If you have 10 boys doing the service project and 20 boys coming to camp, you still get $100 off for the boys that do the service project.
That's good, Mike. What kind of projects can they do up there?
There's all kind of projects. The projects are Conestoga and Buck Run. We ask you to do this. We ask you to complete a service project registration form at least 30 days before your requested date. Camp will be open probably from after the April weekend till we start up at camp. What kind of service projects we can do? Anything from cleaning brush, painting a building, repairing anything that's damaged over the winter. The winter's been pretty good so far, but or if you see something that you want to do to improve the camp that you think is a good idea, let us know and send it to Jack at the office, and he'll get it to me, and we'll see that we can get the stuff up there and do it. What we provide as a council, we'll provide you a campsite at Eberly Scout Reservation for 2 days and 2 nights, or 1 day and 1 night, whatever you want, and we'll get the materials and a little bit of project direction if needed.
Sounds good, Mike. Back in October, we had a troop that worked on the hill latrine. That latrine has been half done for about 20 years, and they finally got it done. So I think that was a good service project. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Ken Bartlett, who's going to answer a question about Camp Buck Run. Kenny?
All right. We had a question in. Will there be indoor activities if it rains? Yes, the answer to your question is yes. Over the past several months and into the upcoming winter, myself and my staff have been working on various ideas for structured activities that are fitting to the idea of fun with a purpose. If you're curious at maybe some of the ones that these scouts might venture into, some of them include World of Sound, Marble Madness, Scouting Adventure, Adventures in Science, and Call of the Wild. Just a note, they're not going to complete those entire adventures, and our goal is not going to be just to solely focus on that, but we are going to have activities that are based around those so that the boys can not only have a good time, but also make some progress on their adventures. If you have any more questions, again, you can contact me to send along any more information that you need. Thanks.
All right, Kenny, thanks. Now to the other Ken Consarak.
Thanks, Jack.
All right.
The question we have here is when or where is a complete list and schedule of merit badges to be available? And you probably already have that. If you have the Camp Conestoga smoke signals that was mailed out to the youth and the adults, page 7. And we've been pretty good historically at staying on this schedule. Look at that. We zoom right in. We've been pretty good at staying with this. Now, obviously, we've been flexible enough to offer things like chest merit badges and evening program. And again, that comes directly from the qualified staff that we had that said, we'll step up and do this. So by and large, you already have this. And what's exciting about this is a good scoutmaster will know the more active you keep your boys, the less trouble you're going to have in camp that week. So they can look over their program and see what they're interested in and see definitely, like Alex had said, what prerequisites they need to do to be most successful. Nothing wrong with a partial. A boy has a lot of time to take care of partials, but we like to see as much success as we can. Thank you.
Yep.
That it, Ken?
Yes.
All right, again, I'm going to ask you to give you that text number, 724-322-6577. Please text that number if you have more questions. I'll turn it over to Alex Miller. Alex?
Sure, thanks, Jack. So we had a lot of questions about the program this year, and that's great. So I'll go ahead and answer some of them for you. Someone asked, how qualified are the counselors for the 2 new merit badges? I am going to assume that is drafting and digital technology. So drafting will be taught by our assistant ranger, Jake Miller. He has gone to community college for drafting and machining, and so he has plenty of experience drafting. And we're actually looking at getting some new computers up there, so we'll have the technology on hand, we'll have the personnel on hand. It should be a really great experience. And so overall, they will definitely be working with someone who knows what they're doing. Digital technology is offered by our office manager, and the reason we have that person in particular teach the badge is because the office manager works directly with me to create a lot of the camp documents, a lot of the promotional items such as the end of the week slideshow and some videos that we do. So this office manager, their everyday life up at camp is embedded with technology, and so really there almost is no better person at camp to share that with those boys. Kayaking is another new one, and that will be offered by our aquatic staff. A lot of the same boys who teach rowing, canoeing, and small boat sailing, and they also all have experience with kayaking. Next question we have is about Pathfinder. Someone asked, should all new boys from a single troop attend Pathfinder? And here's what I'll say about Pathfinder. Up at Pathfinder, we work on a lot of the requirements up until first class. So if you have a boy who is new, but he's been really ambitious, he's maybe one requirement away from first class, then Pathfinder is maybe not the best place for him. If he wants to sharpen his scouting skills, I would say send him down to Scoutcraft and take some of the lower end merit badges there. But for the most part, if your boys are, Scout, Tenderfoot, somewhere in that area, and they do not have a majority of the requirements for first class, I would say absolutely send every single one of them up to Pathfinder. Michael Conroy, who's our director, he does a fantastic job, and he'll get them up to speed with all the scouting skills that they need. Finally, we had a question about NYLT that says, do boys have to be 14 prior to camp? And the answer to that is yes. We do ask that all boys be 14. Now, they can turn 14 the day before they show up to NYLT. We're okay with that. They don't have to be 14 when they apply, but they do have to be 14 when they come to camp. Do we have any other questions?
I think we got one more coming across the board here. Let's see. Oh, Mike, you can answer this question. Has anything been done about the bear at Buck Run? What's his name again, Ken? Charlie. Okay.
The state actually did beanbag the bear, and that was, I think, before it was week 5 at Buck Run, and I don't believe the bear came back. The bear hasn't been back since the state beanbagged it. Now I don't believe they trapped or anything like that, but the biggest thing we can do about the bear is the bear was there before we were. And we got to take care of our food a little bit better.
That's right.
But the state will do whatever they can about the bear, but, put the food away and take care of it.
You've also did a little work on the dumpsters, right?
Yeah, we did some work on the dumpsters. We moved them for the winter. We got some way we can lock the side doors now, so hopefully we'll do our best to deter the bear. But
if I could interject too, Mike, we're also going to be doing something new to Buck Run is we are going to be doing daily campsite inspections, which should help us as well minimize the amount of food left out, which do tend to sometimes draw the bears into us. So hopefully that'll be a helpful for us to take care of it.
Let me interject too for folks that may be not as familiar with the Eberly Scout Reservation, that we are actually part of the Laurel Hill State Park, and we have a wonderful relationship with the state park that we meet with them at least annually. And one of the nice things, one of the great parts of that partnership is that we have animal control issues, whether they be bears, whether they be something else, we turn to our partners at the park to help us take care of that and mitigate those issues. And that's exactly what happened here. If you're not familiar with beanbagging, it's actually what is a 12-gauge shotgun round that tells the beanbag the bear, hits him in the hind end, and he takes off in the woods. And like Mike said, we've seen the bear since. So we have a great relationship with the state park that we turn on from time to time, and they rely on us as well for some conservation projects as well. It's a great partnership. We're lucky to have.
Thanks, Ken. Mike?
Also, there was another question. Is there a limit on a number of boys who can get a conservation discount? No. You can bring your whole troop. That's why we ask on the registration form that's 30 days before, you're going to have to tell us how many people's coming. I mean, we have projects for 30 and we have projects for 6 or 2. There's no limit.
All right. Thanks, Mike. You have a couple of other questions over there?
I have one. So I have one more question, but before I go on to that, I did want to talk about Pathfinder again briefly, something that popped into my mind. The last question about Pathfinder asked, should all boys from a troop attend Pathfinder? And one thing that I do want to specify is if you have a large troop, if you're planning on sending us, say, 30 boys to Pathfinder, please consider splitting them up between the morning and the afternoon session. The entire goal of that is to have relatively even class numbers, and if we have a very large troop send us all of their boys in the morning or all of their boys in the afternoon, that's going to defeat the purpose of it. So maybe split them up, and it doesn't necessarily have to be with someone they know. Sometimes that's one of the best experiences, is to meet new people and try new things up at camp. So don't worry about all the boys from one troop going into one slot. The question I have is, can a boy attend only Eagle Camp with no second week? The answer is yes, but they'll be paying the first week fee instead of the discounted second week fee. So you can absolutely send them to only Eagle Camp, but once again, you're just going to be paying the first week cost.
All right, Alex. Is there any last questions? We'd like you to text in your last questions. Again, the number 724-322-6577. All right, and then Mike was been talking about the service projects, and what I wanted to mention too is we talk about doing them in the spring, but you also can do them in the fall. There's actually more time to do service projects in the fall. So if you don't get them done this spring, you can also do it next fall, and it'll be credited towards the following summer.
Yeah, for 2017.
Okay? I mean, because really we can't get into camp until the end of April, and that only gives us really the month of May to do service projects. A question came over about any refunds for bad weather, and they said that they had a really bad experience last year and they may not come. Well, one of the reasons, and Mike will jump in on this too, is if you notice, you might not notice, but we actually reduced the camp fees at Camp Buck Run for this year because of that experience that some of our scouts had last summer. So the camp fees are actually less this year than they were a year ago.
Yes, we actually went to camp, $10 cheaper for the Cub Scouts, and bad weather refunds, we're prepared for the weather this time. We'll have a little indoor program for you, and we are doing some work up at Buck Run, up on Rocky Ridge especially. We are moving platforms. We have 10 new big platforms coming out this year, so that'll give us 30 up there. Plus, we also did a lot of work on the shower house this past fall. So we are doing a lot of work at Buck Run. And also, with Buck Run, there was another question came, are the service projects just for Boy Scouts? Cub Scouts can come also. I mean, you can come for the day and do them, come for night and do them. Just fill the form out and register. And like Jack said, you know, the best time to do these service projects, we've been trying this program for a few years now, is in the fall time and get credit for, you know, the 2017 camp season. I mean, camp will be there, but we'll be up there from after the April weekend till camp starts.
All right, Mike, thank you. Is there any other questions? We'll hang in there. I'm going to do my little summary here, and if you have any last questions, we can get them answered before we sign off. But just wanted to talk about that this week we are having the Friends of Scouting kickoffs, and we will have available the camp cards. The camp cards are a program that you can raise money to help I don't know that's the word I'm trying to say, underwrite the costs of attending camp. So that camp cards will be available this Wednesday and Thursday at the FOS Kickoff. Wanted to promote a couple of things that are coming up. We have our 3rd annual fishing derby at Ruth Rhoda Lake at Camp Conestoga. It will be held Saturday, May 7th, and it will be sponsored by Troop 375 of Ligonier, and they will stock hundreds of fish for our lake for our scouts to catch all summer. And watch for more information. The people that participated last year had a great time. The kids caught a lot of fish, didn't they, Alex?
Oh, they did. And that's definitely something we'd love for all you to come out and support, because not only does Troop 375 do a lot for this fishing derby, they do a lot for the summer programming the summer programming as well. They provide a lot of our prizes and support for our fishing competitions throughout the summer. So once again, please support them. They do an amazing job of making sure that our boys can earn fishing and fly fishing.
Okay, Alex, thanks. Really, we are able to offer very great facilities at Eberly Scout Reservation because of, number one, thousands of volunteer service hours from Cubs, Scouts, Ventures, parents, and leaders. We also get a lot of help from the members of Waggy on 6, the Order of the Arrow. We have district and council volunteers that give a lot of time. As Ken mentioned, Lower Hill State Park and Mike Mumar, the park superintendent, really are a key partner in our program at Eberly Scout Reservation. I'd also like to thank for all the support that we get from the Council Service Center staff, Sherry Rolane, Colleen Moore, Margie Barish, Bev Myers, and Tina Delaney. We also like to thank our district executives, Kristen Eagle, Dana Wagaman, and Dave Sluzarek. We want to thank Martin Barbie, our Scout executive, and all the presenters tonight. Mike Glasgow, Ken Konsarak, Alex Miller, and Kenneth Bartlett. I want to thank Matthew Dowling, our development director, who put this program together along with Dave Sluzarek. I don't know of any other council in the BSA that does a camp kickoff like this. I want to thank you for your participation, for your questions. We're looking forward to a great summer. So I'd like to end our meeting, as we end most of our campfires, with the Scoutmaster benediction. May the great Scoutmaster of all Scouts be with us and guide us and keep us until we meet this summer at Eberly Scout Reservation. Good night, Scouts.